Hey, everybody, it's me, Dave Schrader from the Paranormal 60, Ghosts of Devil's Perch, and the Holzer Files. And for some reason, you're tuned in to the Paranomaly Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Well, it's Super Bowl Sunday for the rest of the world.
Really?
But here at the Here at the Paranomaly Zone, there's something much more important happening, and I want to share this audio very quickly. It's important.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
He's back, Mike.
Yes,
There's
he
someone
is.
else here. Who the hell is
It
here?
is
Who?
the one, the only, Mr. Show.
You're allowed to speak now, by the way.
Oh, I'm good. I'm just listening. I'm watching.
Remember,
the
Joe,
time
everybody
and everything.
is wearing their underwear.
Yes,
That's
100%.
Oh, look at all that fine silk boxer shorts. Beautiful.
Ooh,
Anyway, thank you so much for having me. It's been a long while, so I appreciate it. This is going to be fun. Thank you.
100%. I was getting sick of you whining to me on Instagram.
I know. Well, everything. What about me?
Yeah, every week when we're texting back and forth, Patrick and I'm always saying, when are you going to let him come back on?
You never say that.
Patrick's fault.
And all I hear is this weird, in my mind, I hear him snickering, like,
They're right.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Did you hear the last one that he was on? He said,
Yeah.
no. No, did you hear the last one that we were all on together?
Come hell or high water.
Well, the last one that we were all on together, I think, was a Patreon episode, thankfully.
I don't remember it.
And all that needs to be
Whatsoever.
known about that episode is what Mike just said. He cannot even remember it because
And
he was feeling pretty good, boys.
No, I was probably feeling pretty bad. I don't know. I can't remember. But hey,
Yeah, that
That
was
was
at my old house, I believe.
I think you're right.
I'm at it was on 51. I won't say it on my.
Yeah, let's give out your address here.
Bad. Here's where I live, bad people.
no, that was one of the things that propelled me on to just quit drinking.
Yes, and you are just well, I was going to say that you're healthy as a clam, but that makes no sense.
Yeah, people don't want to hear about that crap.
No, exactly. So.
Ow!
Wow, yeah. So, Mike, again, Mr. Show, formerly known as Mr. Show, my brother, my mentor, my hero.
The one
yes,
that you wish you could grow your beard like.
No, not really. But he has returned. He is here. We have a good topic lined up today, a good discussion in store. Like I said, it is Super Bowl Sunday. Joe and I
Sunday.
We will be celebrating somewhat because we're football fans, sadly, and our beloved Minnesota Vikings are not in the Super Bowl. But that is neither here. Yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. They aren't. It happened again.
I don't even know who is in the Super
Damn
Bowl.
it!
So, Super Bowl aside, we're always talking all things paranormal here on the Paranomaly Zone. No exception for today. We are, a lot of cool stuff lined up. Even an audio clip, Mike, that we're going to share here shortly.
I love this clip.
Another random discovery.
Yeah.
And Joe, I hope to God you can hear it. It is a little faint, but we're going to be playing it here and we're going to be discussing it. Don't know what the hell it is. Yes, exactly. Do a chip coffee for us. But longtime listeners know that one, Joe. When I was talking to Chip, I was staring straight up his nose. he didn't realize that his camera was on and his laptop was in his lap, and I was looking right up his nostrils.
And I think
So-
last time we talked about that, I asked you, could you at least see his scarf?
I couldn't even see his scarf.
Dang,
I mean,
I would
no.
love to have known what color scarf he was wearing for that interview.
Yeah.
And
All
don't
I
know
saw
why.
were
Lovely chip coffee. I love that, man. He's a great guy.
Did you know that he does sell those scarves online?
yes, he does.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I think they're fairly reasonable too. Great for Christmas gifts. I should
Yeah,
get
good
one that
idea.
would match one of my Stallies and just have
there
it
you
as
go.
as an outfit.
No, seriously, you'd look snazzy. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing scarves.
Yeah.
Scarves are they're fashiony. Fashiony? Is
I
that
don't know, Joe. I'm not
fashiony?
sure if a scarf is your forte.
No,
I'm just
do
saying
that,
that right now.
Do that, and we will call you Fashionista Joe.
Fashionista Joe, yes,
Ah.
absolutely. So, I mean, we have a cool Ghost Gab opening segment. Mike's got some activity brewing at his house, and I am looking forward to hearing about this. He hasn't shared what's been going on. Both he and Mary have been experiencing some happenings.
I'm pretty sure part
So-
of it is Gladys. I'm not quite sure, but I think.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
I'm
may
looking
I
forward
ask
to
a
hearing about it.
question? May I ask a question to the lovely Mike? Mike,
Oh!
question? Is
Oh,
that okay
lovely.
if I ask you a question, sir?
If you ask me a lovely question, yes.
Because I've never talked to Patrick about this, but in your humble opinion, do you feel that spirits follow you everywhere? Are you just very in tune to? Are you just? It's a coincidence that every kind of house you go into, there's some kind of activity. I'm always like, is there stuff everywhere we go? Or
Well, yeah,
is it just
well, in my personal thing, I think that the intuitiveness, maybe the sensitivity, possibly. Excuse me, you didn't hear that, did you?
No, Mike's having an emotional moment.
No, I'm
I was like,
I'm
ooh.
belching my Coke Zero. But anyway,
Oh, you don't give it away. I thought it literally sounded like you were getting emotional there, so we were going to play with it.
About what? My paranormal.
Yes, because it just struck you. You know, you have those moments every now and then. My God, I had moments like that listening to a cheesy Peter, Paul, and Mary song, and I'm like,
Simon and
Go ahead.
Garfunkel hit me pretty hard.
so Mike,
Like a bridge. Anyway,
you were saying like your intuitiveness, and then
Yeah, I mean, I
then
think
you
that
belched.
that can have a lot to do with it. But for me personally, I mean, because I know that I'm sensitive and all that stuff. I always have been, falling in and out of it with different stages of my life, but getting very much into it again. But anyway, the with me, I think that something is following me, but I don't feel like there's a certain entity or spirit or an individual spirit that's following me. I think it's kind of like a mixture of just something being around all the time, whether I attract it or whatever, but it's been everywhere.
I think it's an
Everywhere.
ability. I think it's an ability on your part, Mike.
An ability.
I really do, and
like
I
your
think that's something.
enunciation of ability.
Yes, I think it's something that I sorely lack, and
Ability.
you are just
Or
you are more in tuned with that other side than I am, and
Well,
I'm
I think
I'm jealous.
probably part of it would be like maybe the spirits feel comfortable and you're welcoming and they just attach to, maybe that could be part. It's like, man, you bring off a great aura for the beyond, maybe, and then
I would
just
love
attach to it.
I would love to know that as a fact. That would be awesome.
Right.
Well,
But,
we
That's
even
beautiful. That's an awesome thing.
a couple of weeks ago we did an episode about imaginary friends. It was like imaginary friend or ghost ? Because Mike, even going back to his childhood, he had an imaginary friend, and so that kind of was the genesis of our discussion. It's like, was that even when he was a kid? Was he actually interacting with a spirit back then that he interpreted as his imaginary friend? So it's, I mean,
My daughter had one when she was little. That I could tell that story too if you want. So it's whenever.
Is that
Savannah
Chloe?
had
Oh, it was Savannah.
no, Savannah had one. Yeah, before we moved to Babbitt, we lived in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, and we'd go up to her room, and the door would be shut, and you'd hear her talking, and then you ask her who she's talking to. My friend. And
Yeah.
then it went on for a while, and then as we were leaving to move, Savannah said, "Well, what's going to happen to Mary?" I can't remember her name. I said, "What do you mean, honey?" So, "What's going to happen to my friend Mary? She wants to come."
Oh, I love
And
that.
we're like, "Oh, I think she'll be fine." I said, "I think she has to stay here." And that was kind of no, at the time, you're younger parents, you're just kind of, "Oh, I love you. You're cute. You have this wonderful imagination." So I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
there
I
was
mean,
something
who
to it.
knows?
And then and that very last drive away from the house, as you're leaving for the last time, she's looking out the window of the car, saying, "But she doesn't want to stay in the closet,"
No.
or something
Right,
like that.
right.
You
I'd
know,
like to go back and see how that all transpired and what the exact words were. But it was like, well, what about her? Where is she going to go? Well, she's
Well, that
outside.
was a couple of the cases that we discussed involved like generations, family members returning to, like, let's say, I believe, Mike, the story went, it was a young girl who was describing her imaginary friend that she was interacting with, and it like made her uncle kind of flip out because her uncle and her dad obviously grew up in the same house, and they were talking about, oh my God, you just described my imaginary friend that I had when I was in this house.
the same house,
So
man.
that's
Yeah,
intriguing. So maybe Savannah's friend is still there.
Right?
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Living
love it.
doing
I
her
love
thing.
the idea. I love that idea. I never had an imaginary friend. Even imaginary friends don't want to be my friend. So
Well,
No.
there you go.
Well, you did at one point, and then they
Yeah,
they looked at
they're
you
like,
and said, "Nope,
yeah. I can't
not
deal with
gonna
this
do
guy.
it."
Yep.
you don't need
He's got
friends like
them.
that, Patrick. Just you're
I don't.
No.
okay.
I'm okay. Okay. All right, Mike. Without any further ado here, let's talk about what's been going on at your house, Mike. Then I'm going to share that audio clip that I just randomly discovered on our
Yeah.
our Ghost of Gettysburg episode.
Which is also an
Weird.
incident from my house,
Yeah,
our house.
it has to be. And then we're going to be diving into, we're essentially focusing on the haunted school of, yes, where Joe lives, the Babbitt, Minnesota haunted school. Joe and I have been there several times doing our investigations. Some intriguing stuff has been captured there. And we're going to talk about haunted schools in general. What the heck's going on there? Why would a school be haunted? Any number of directions this conversation can lead to. But Mike, what the hell's been going on in your house?
Well, somebody's been trying to get some attention, I think, or
Okay.
something like
Well,
it.
just tell Mary to ask politely.
Ask
No.
her what? Ask politely what? What are you talking about?
Well, that joke went over your head. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
get kind of dense sometimes. But anyway, yeah, this went over, like a 2-week period, a week and a half, 2-week period where, at first it was like, we had each seen something or experienced something, and we didn't really know at the time that we had each experienced this. Like for me, I was in the bathroom, not doing anything, just standing there. I don't know what I was doing, but anyway,
Mike just likes hanging out in the bathroom.
yeah, no, I like looking in the mirror. No, but
I
anyway,
was playing Yahtzee.
Yes.
yeah, on the closed toilet lid. But anyway, I had a Pepsi on the sink.
Okay. Look.
But anyway, a towel folded gently between under my knees. But anyway,
Too much
I am
information.
just really rattling on this one. Where was I? Anyway, no.
You're on the toilet.
Well, it's in that area anyway.
Okay.
But anyway, I had seen, like, quickly out of the corner of my eye and seeing it still as my head turned, and it was just, how quickly they can be. But this is like what I'd seen before in the dining room, because this is where I'd seen this time in the dining room. But it looks like, and you may remember me describing this before, it looked like a streak kind of going through the dining room. It had like a white color to it, maybe some shadowing to it. It looked like, you could tell where the head would have been with some maybe a dark swash of something like hair. So it's not like a figure, but it was like a figure just blurred moving, like if, like if I have a picture like that or whatever, double exposure or something.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But that's what I saw. And I don't know if you
Now,
remember
was this at like kind of a certain height? Like what level was this at?
Just normal average height size.
Oh, so it was like 5-6 feet
Yeah, it
off the
wasn't.
ground. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like it was short or tall, or it was kind of just average. But that's what I had seen, and Mary, she had seen from when we were sitting in the living room. She seen through into the kitchen. You can see into the kitchen from the living room.
Right.
Something move from like the back corner of the kitchen and coming like up towards the stove, I think she said. And it was like not a distinguishable person or anything, but like that figure type thing again.
Or was this this was at the same time, or
No, it was over a period of like a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah.
And the other one that I had was it was a lot. It was like that, but it was just more of a quick, smaller, shadowy kind of a thing, like in the dining room, but moving from a different direction than what the other one that I saw.
Yeah, what is it? What is it with your dining room, man? That you have had more than one.
The dining room is a big thing
happening,
and now the figure or whatever it is has been seen in the kitchen. The kitchen is where we always see the ghost cat. It's never out of the kitchen,
right?
Which reminds me too. This is more than a couple of weeks ago, but I remember sitting on the couch, and it was evening, and I had that quick glance of what looked like the cat in the living room by not far from where I was sitting, like by my feet. But I wasn't sure if that's what it was or anything. Because not seeing the cat anywhere but in the kitchen and thinking that may be a residual thing.
Sure.
It's not going to move out into the living room, where we've never seen it before. So I don't know. I just had the idea that it could have been that, but I'm not sure enough to,
And again, I know I bring this up all the time, but you also, that's where you had your kind of the phantom phone call experience in your, your dining room area in there.
More in the kitchen.
That was more in the kitchen. Okay.
Kitchen, yeah.
Okay.
And that's why
that's pretty general. I mean, they're right next to each other
in that area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that little triangle hallway between the two, which is weird enough.
But it just makes me wonder though. It's like, why that area? I mean, what's going on? Why is that like a hot spot?
Like what we've talked about before, and what I said about, kind of joking about thinking that it was Gladys, but I get that picture of that woman that lived here on the phone in the kitchen. I can picture where she was standing, what she looked like, and the streak thing that I see in the dining room. It's got like I said, the white with some shadowing, and you can see like where it'd be dark hair.
Yeah.
But I think even before I saw that, the first time I saw that, I had this idea of Gladys, wearing this light colored, like a house coat that a woman wears around the house, and shorter, dark hair, lady in her, upper 50s maybe, on the phone.
That's intriguing. On the phone,
kitchen.
right.
I mean, that is in my mind so much. And that is where I was hearing that phantom phone ringing, like so faint, but, not anywhere in our house. Windows were all closed. We never hear phones from anywhere, even in the summertime when the windows are open.
And Joe, if you're not familiar with that experience with the phantom phone call at Mike's house, it was interesting to note that the woman in that house, at one point, she had received a phone call it was a phone call of very tragic news for her, and she had a heart attack after she received
No,
that news.
really?
And never recovered.
And never recovered. And so that's what kind of, lends a little credence to Mike's experience there for sure.
Wow.
What I need to do again, and I've done this before, looking for people that may have passed away in the house over,
Yes.
and the abstract we have for the house. I need to look back through that again.
Yes, you
and
do.
see if there's a Gladys in there somewhere.
Oh,
So
that'd be awesome.
I always know where the abstract is. I'll have to grab it and do that. But will I do it, Patrick?
Yes, you will, because
Okay.
I will remind you.
You will keep
incessantly,
reminding me, please, because I have to.
And, very, very briefly, when you're talking about, the ghost cat in your house, it reminded me of a friend of both Joe and I, more so Joe than me. Well, definitely more so Joe. One of his best friends from back in high school. I follow him on like TikTok and all that stuff. I'm talking about Carl, Joe, your friend Carl.
Reiner?
Not Reiner. Nope, this is with K.
Oh, that would have been nice, though.
He is.
No kidding.
He is. How do I say this politely to make a point here? He's definitely not someone who is. He does not believe in the Lord Almighty. Let's say that. That's fair to say, right?
Is he
Joe?
slightly atheistic or agnostic?
Let's say religion is not his strong suit.
100%.
Hey.
I don't want to speak for him, but I know that his dog recently passed away.
Okay.
And he posted, and he loved his dog, obviously. And he posted like a week or so ago. He goes, "Dang it, I just saw Phantom such and such by her doggy dish." And he goes,
Wow.
"Darn brain playing tricks on me." And I wanted to reply to him, say like, "Oh no, I think it's really your dog, dude. I think your dog was still there."
Patrick, I am so happy to hear you say that.
What?
Man.
I didn't,
but it's like, I was just really missing Buddy. That's why I think I may have seen him. Or
yeah, I had the same
behind
experience.
me.
I had the same experience. I did, so I get
How
it.
many experiences have
Buddy.
you had? How many
I
experiences
know.
have you had that you're like, I'm starting to think you're a pseudo skeptic and you're just hiding it very well, and not very well anymore.
Not anymore. No. Well, that's how that's how I describe the podcast, Mike. I say one fervent believer, you, and one open-minded skeptic. I mean, that's the best way I can describe myself. I'm a believer, but I'm very skeptical. But
I guess we better not lose that dynamic because, damn it, it's working.
Oh, sure, I know. Tons and tons of listeners, and we love all of them. Okay, just for the sake of time, let's play those clips real quick, Mike, and then we'll dive into some haunted school banter. Does that sound like a plan, guys? Oh, you're both coughing and keeling over, and is everyone okay?
I was muted, wasn't I?
Yes, you were. You were absolutely.
My mute button's not working too well.
Oh, you're okay.
A little bit of WD-40 on there. It'll be fine.
All right. So this was a random discovery. Again, just like that random video discovery that I discovered the other day.
Well, what did I call you earlier? Or was it off air that the Master Discoverer?
Oh, sure. Master something. I don't know.
You're not the master.
Just totally random. Not the Master of Disguise for sure. But just totally random discoveries. 2 weeks in a row, I found these things like instantly. It's like, oh, I'm going to watch this clip, and then bam, I found something. And then I was like, I'm going to listen to our last episode, Gettysburg's Ghosts or Ghosts of Gettysburg. I don't even remember what I called it. And I just clicked a random spot to start listening, and then bam, something popped up in the background. I was like, what the hell is that? And I immediately isolated it, and I pointed it out to Mike, and I said, is that Mary? Is that someone in your house that I wasn't aware of? Anyways, I'm going to play a longer, like 18, 20-second clip and then a shorter one. This is towards the end of the clip, right after Mike is talking about he doesn't like the word debunking.
Well,
but it makes sense, and so on and so forth. In the background, you hear what we can only describe as like a faint wail. And not a whale, not the mammal. I'm talking about WAIL.
Not a blue whale, not a humpback.
Yeah,
not a humpback.
it's
not
not
a
a
sperm whale for sure.
Sperm,
Not a
it's not
beluga.
Spermy.
it's not a
Remember Spermy
whale.
Stevens? Anyway, you can go. Anyway,
No. Jeez. So let's take
Hump.
a
back.
quick listen here, guys, and
Yes.
we'll go from there.
Just throw out anything that it possibly could.
So that was actually the short clip. So I'll play the longer short clip first. Now this is a clip. This isn't Mike speaking live. This is a clip from last week. So I'm going to play it right now. 3, 2, 1.
As you move into that direction of trying to debunk it, as they say. I hate that word, but as you know, but
No,
still,
I know.
but it still works. It's the right word to use. Just throw out anything that it possibly could be an explanation.
Mm-hmm. So it's when Mike takes a brief break after he goes like,
Yeah.
throw out anything that you could possibly. Then there's a break, and then you hear like, Joel, it looks like you're struggling to hear it. Just try and find it, man. Try if you can. I know the listeners can hear it and Mike can hear it.
That little break you're talking about is like a little glitch. It's like you hear me and then it's like, bleep, and then you hear that. That's earlier when we were listening to it. Remember, I was saying, do you hear that little?
You said
sound
something
to
about
begin with. There's like something it like makes a little sound and then it moves into that. I wonder if that's what I was hearing. But I mean, to somebody like you would think, well, that was edited in or something like that with that little glitch thing in there.
Okay, see, I'm struggling to hear the glitch thing. I don't hear the glitch
listen to
part.
that little, just right between the last part of what I say.
Yes.
Of that word and the moan.
Okay. I'm playing the longer clip again. 3, 2, 1.
As you move into that direction of trying to debunk it, as they say. I hate that word, but as you know, I know. But it still works. It's the right word to use. Just throw out anything that it possibly could be an explanation.
Mm-hmm. See, I don't think it's a glitch. I just think that you were pausing.
I paused just for a second.
Yeah.
Yep.
Split second.
Well, it feels like it like.
Yeah, it did. It did, but that's just how that was. That's Mike. Mike's glitchy.
Yeah.
Joe, did you pick it up at all?
I can't. I'm having a hard time.
Dang. Oh.
Okay, I'm going to play the long clip one more time, and then I'll play the shorter one. So here's the 18-second one.
As you move into that direction of trying to debunk it, as they say. I hate that word, but as you know,
I know.
But it still works. It's the right word to use. Just throw out anything that it possibly could be an explanation.
Mm-hmm. That's just so weird. Okay, here's the short clip. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Just throw out anything that it possibly could.
That's all it was. You hear like Mike say, throw out anything that you could possibly, and then you immediately hear the.
Just throw out anything that it possibly could.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, Joe, that you can't pick it up, but
no,
I don't know what the hell that could be. Mike, we were talking about this earlier before we started recording. It's not coming from my end because this microphone does not pick up anything other than me,
right?
And it would not be able to pick up. I'm behind closed doors right now. Everyone else is out in the living room area, and I don't know who the hell that would have been in my house. Anyways,
no, I don't know. But did it sound like I didn't even finish the word? And then it stopped, and then you heard that moan.
Well, it did. I think that I don't think that there's anything other than you just paused there.
Okay, yeah.
And it just happened to come through right when you paused. I mean, it's just a coincidental and lucky.
Maybe it was
lucky
waiting.
Coincidence.
Can you
waiting for that pause?
Can you do it again, Patrick?
Yeah. Do you want the longer one or the short one?
No, the short one.
That's what she said. All right.
Dang it.
Hey,
here we go.
Just throw out anything that it possibly could.
Still can't hear it.
What am I missing? I don't know.
Man,
I want to hear it so badly.
It's so clear too.
Yeah, and it's something that I'm not saying this in a negative way, Joe. I just think it's your earbuds. You're not able to pick it up for whatever reason.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I don't have the. Yeah, mine are just normal little things.
Mike, how would you describe it? Mike, would you care to mimic it?
No.
This is my.
don't know.
Do not laugh, Mike. This is my imitation of what Joe needs to be looking for. Do not laugh. That's what's on there. I told you not to laugh.
But it was so spot on. You got that high pitch going up there like it was nothing.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, that sounds very much like.
Oh, Joe looks sad.
Well,
I'm sorry.
It's disappointing because
he's now sobbing. He's curling up into a bundle. Oh, Joey, it's okay.
Rubbing his eyes with those big fleshy meat hooks.
Yes. All right. One more time, short clip. One more time, short clip, and then we're moving on.
Okay.
Because
one more time.
And then I want to ask. Well, then I want to ask Mike.
Okay.
Something in particular about this. Here we go.
Okay. Throw out anything that it possibly could.
Yeah, right there, right at the very end. It's
at the very end. Okay, I'm not listening in the right spot then.
What the hell? Are you daydreaming right now?
It's right before I start talking.
No, I'm doing it while Mike's talking. Like I'm thinking.
Oh,
like,
no.
Okay.
It's
talking.
All right.
No, it's when Mike stops. It's like when he pauses. That's why he kept saying he thought he glitched.
It's right at the end of like the word could or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's at the very end.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Throw out anything that it possibly could.
Yep. Mike says throw out anything that it possibly could. And then immediately after could, then you hear that wail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just my headphones. I apologize.
So Mike, briefly, what any thoughts on what the hell that could possibly be? Who that could possibly be, or are we reaching? Is it something that we're just overlooking?
Okay. Well, what I have in my mind is now if I can just say this without losing my place. I lost where I'm at. Which means I lost where I was at. No, I'm just kidding.
There's Mike.
Yeah. Wow.
I need that's my get Mike back on track sound bar.
Wow.
Yep. There he is.
Whoa, it makes me go, wow. Anyway, yes. To me, when I try to figure this out, I try to figure where does it sound like it's coming from? If it's coming from, my house or our house here in the living room, or is it? It sounds muffled enough, like and faint enough to where it's not right here sitting next to me. It's not right on the other side of the partition here.
Right. It sounds like it's away from you.
Maybe in the dining room or
maybe in the dining room. Yes.
Maybe it's the sound of Gladys when she first gets that information that her son has passed away in a bad car accident.
Oh my God, Mike! That almost sounds like a plaintive wail. It does.
Boy, I just pulled that out of my butt. That's a pretty good.
Oh boy, I like that.
There, nice.
I like that. I like that idea. I'm going to play that one more time again now.
Myself with that one.
I'm going to play the longer clip now.
I wish you could hear this.
I'm going to play the longer clip now, and I'm sorry to our listeners, but I need to play it one more time or a couple more times.
They're going out there right now. Get on with it.
I know.
I want to go eat ice cream.
But that's a new perspective, because now when you said that, it almost does. I mean, obviously, it does sound like it's a distance away from you. Yeah, it sounds echoey. It sounds kind of echoey. It sounds definitely female.
Right.
Muffled, a little echoey.
It either sounds female or Patrick. I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah, it's hard to decipher the difference. I know,
especially after you just did it so well. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, Joe, that's what it was, just like that, exactly. So you heard it,
Joe. I'm going to tell you.
You're not saying that it was Patrick that made it originally.
No. Oh, it definitely isn't me.
No.
So, Joe, I'm telling you this right now. I'm telling you this right now. When this is published on YouTube, go and watch it on YouTube. Listen, so you can
There you
actually
go.
hear this
There
clip.
you go.
Okay. All right.
Good idea.
All right, this is the longer one, and this is with a new perspective. Is this the lady getting the horrible news? Oh my gosh!
As you move into that direction of trying to, debunk it, as they say, I hate that word, but as you know,
No,
still,
I know.
but it still works. It's the right word to use. Throw out anything that it possibly could be an explanation.
Oh man, Mike, that totally sounds like a sad whale to me now. Not a sad beluga. I'm talking about like a whale.
Right. Not a whale.
We've
Like
got
I
a
said.
depressed sperm whale.
And a sperm whale with erectile dysfunction.
No. Okay, we're going off
Anyway.
track now. I like that. That was good, Mike. That was a good.
But yeah, I mean that
good
just came to me
suggestion.
when I was, when we were talking about, and I was explaining, who I get Gladys, or I've also gotten a Mabel. I'm not sure, which
Man,
pretty obscure names. But
we've all had a
but-
Mabel at one point or another.
Oh, I tell
Oh,
you,
I've had plenty of Mabels.
stories about a Mabel. Anyway,
That's a whale
Well,
of a tale to
never
tell you,
known a
lad. A whale of a tale or two. All right.
I think
Exactly.
I've taken care of a few Mabels when I was a CNA with hospice.
I think you probably have.
Probably a Gladys
I like
too.
maple syrup.
Anyway. Oh man, yeah,
That was bad.
Vermont maple syrup. I mean, right straight. Oh man, or northern
Oh,
Minnesota.
boy.
You come up with some good maple syrup. Boing.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, getting back to this because it is. I mean, I'm pretty proud of myself. I hate to say that.
Yes. No, I'm proud of you too. Yes. Yes.
So,
Let's give Mike a round of applause. Yay!
Yay.
So
But anyway,
let's dive into the meat of the topic here. We're only
Yeah.
35 minutes in. It's about time to get into the meat of it. But that was a very
I
important,
like meat.
and a pertinent and relative
one more thing,
ghost
Patrick,
scab.
that you need to keep reminding me if I don't do this. You remember? Oh man, was it 2 months ago at least that I put a digital recorder in the kitchen overnight one night, and I
Yes,
have
you did.
not listened to it yet. I love that roll of back in your head of your eyes there. Just
Oh boy.
it's like
You just gave him a stroke. Like,
Yeah.
You know, the first time, Mike, you're going to pick up. We could be missing EVPs like this.
We're ghosts.
Just solid evidence that's just sitting there.
when if I listen to this, I really hope that
You won't.
at the beginning of the recording that I'm listening to, I hear that very faintly the theme song to the original Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Oh, there you go.
oh, God, I love that. I was just watching
There's-
it with my grandsons the other day.
I tell you,
Oh, nice.
I remember when that first came out, and I was there. I watched it right from the beginning. I loved it.
Get on with it.
That is
Get on
2
with it.
years of
Yes,
brilliance.
get on with it.
Sorry.
1969 to 71 or something
Yep,
like
the
that.
original, yeah. Loved
They
it.
had Casey Kasem as Shady.
Yes, he was.
Oh, by the way, this is another.
I love that Scooby-Doo. I watched that on
Yep.
Saturday mornings back in the
Yep.
day.
Did you do the Captain Crunch with it, or
Oh, hell yeah. Captain Crunch. That's one of my favorites back then.
Quisp? Quisp was one of my big ones. If you ever
Quisp?
had that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn
Loved it. That was my big thing. My big go-to, Quisp.
And then I like the monster chases, and then they'd have this song going on in it. Those are one of my favorite times in Scooby-Doo. I was
Yeah.
singing the song the other day.
And
I'm
if
not gonna
it
sing
wasn't
now
for
'cause I
you
totally
darn
forgot.
kids, I would have gotten away with it.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo!
Patrick's just patiently sitting there. He's gonna just start pushing buttons. Brrr. Get on with it. Okay, so
Old
we were going to
farts.
talk about what now? Finishing this,
Meat.
the meat.
Yes, the meat of the episode.
The
And I was going to play another audio clip of evidence that's on Mike's recorder right now as we speak, but timing is everything, so it's not funny. So
Yeah.
Because you guys decided to start talking
It
about
was at the-
1960s cereal,
Oh.
so it's fine.
Scooby Doo.
You know why I
love
love
cereal.
You know one of the reasons I loved Quisp so much is because they were little tiny flying saucers, and it was a little alien that was on the Quisp, the alien. He was on the cover of the box, or the box, front of the box. Quisp.
Yeah. That was good stuff.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Fruity Pebbles was mine. Yep, sorry.
I have nothing. I
Okay.
like shredded wheat without sugar. Anyway.
I just wanted milk. All right, go ahead, Pat. Sorry about that. There's a pause.
Are we
Patrick.
good?
Say something.
Are we good? Are we good?
Are we good? And then there was the time. Okay.
My nose is going to start to bleed. All right, the meat of this. Get on
meat.
with it. Don't make me say that again.
Couple of nitwits.
Yeah,
Yes, we are a couple of nitwits. Okay, anyways.
We
so,
are nitwits thrice.
Haunted? Yes, thrice nitwits. First off, I want to turn this over to Joe real quick. The most intriguing thing to me when it comes to the alleged haunted activity at the Babbitt School there is the event of your wife getting scratched, a phantom scratch on her back. I have the photograph. You were kind enough to share that with me. Thank you again for Jennifer for sharing
Being
that. Sorry
scratched.
for my
You-
yeah. Thank you, Jennifer, for being scratched.
I believe you asked if it was okay if you shared it with me, and I thought it was it was crazy.
Yeah, I know I posted it on Patreon. It's the classic 3 deep scratches with like a faint 4th one on the outer edge. Joe, briefly describe what the hell happened there to your wife, to our lovely listeners, please.
Well, I will do my due diligence because it's over time. She's kind of still struggling at what area it happened or didn't happen. I know she was cleaning out or getting her room ready in the summer for the following school year. So teachers go in, they rearrange their desk or put desk away, bring in new furniture, so on and so forth. And so she was doing that, and what I gathered is that we have a upstairs, like Patrick is aware of, where our second floor is. That's off limits. It used to be part of the school, but it's off limits. So. And she has a key for the upstairs. She opens the key, and underneath the steps by her room are desks and books and yada, yada, yada. And so she would gather her books from that area or a desk and bring them into her room. And then if she has some stuff to throw away, she'll go outside and throw it in the dumpster. So in between, from going from underneath the steps to outside, at one point walking back into school, she just felt a burning sensation on her, right shoulder, I think it was, and didn't pay any mind to it until she came home. She goes, "It's just weird. I didn't run into anything. I wasn't scratched. There's nobody around in the school, and would you check my back for me? I mean, because at one point I was in there, and all of a sudden it just felt burning in my right shoulder. So you check it, and that's when he checked her skin, and it had those 3 scratches on there. So it's as simple as that. It's nothing outwardly wow, but it's just.
Well, no, it is wow.
It is. I was going to say, yeah.
Well, where did it come from? She tried to go backwards and trace her steps about, did I run in it? Because that, the world, makes us.
I mean, she's trying,
and like, oh God,
she's trying to rationalize.
Yeah, what did I run into? And it's like, well, she didn't. So,
but it's those perfect
under the steps. She was just inside the door, grabbing something. Nothing around. Outside to throw something away. There's nothing in the air. So wherever she just developed those scratch marks. So I'm assuming it was probably when she was underneath the stair or in the stairway area to where the up towards the second floor.
So,
Excuse me.
Joe, so when the last time that I visited you and we went to the school, you at that point, which was what, a month or so ago now, if not longer, a couple months. At one point we were, and this sounds weird, we were in the girls' bathroom
Yep.
because you at that point were thinking, if I'm correct in my recollection, Jennifer thought that she first started feeling like the hot spot on her back when she was in the restroom, and then it just kind of
Very much
progressively
good.
got more.
Yeah. I haven't talked with her about this forever, so excuse me, I'm so sorry.
No, I get it. We're all getting over the sicknesses here
But
as well.
yeah,
So
that could very well that's the point, because we're still kind of bouncing all over the place about when it happened. Because here's my
Yeah.
thing. My honest recollection is that she received these scratches while she was outside throwing stuff away. That's what my original thought was right away, and that's what
Yes.
I keep coming back to. But then she says, "No, I wasn't there. It was either underneath the steps somewhere area, or not underneath, but in the going up to the second floor, or in the women's, ladies, girls bathroom area."
And Joe, that's
So
what I
it's
remember too, because I remember you telling me that. That's why I always thought, I was like, we need to go to like that dumpster area or the exit that's by the dumpster, because your first retelling of the tale to me was that she had thought that she receded out by the dumpster.
okay, yeah, right.
And so I'm on your side with that one, because that's what you first told me. But then we're all backtracking here. Jennifer doesn't know. But that was your first recollection, and that was my first recollection. So now it's all about, well, where the hell did this happen? The fact is, it's flipping happened. And
Right.
there are nasty scratches on her back. Like you said, no one was at the school. She was by herself. She has no
run into anything.
That's one of
no.
Right, and those type of injuries, that's something that you would remember how it happened.
Right.
Because this isn't just a little willy-nilly, faint, tiny little, the type of scratches we all get all the time, just from daily life.
Because I can vividly see her when she came into the house, right? And she goes, "Can you check something for me?
Right.
Is there something on my back?" And
Yes.
lift up the shirt, and I said, "Oh my goodness!" And, immediately after that, I took a picture of it.
Yep.
And yeah.
How long would you say they were, Joe? How long? How many inches would you say this?
Yeah, you're right. About, what's that, 5?
5 inches or so?
4 or 5 inches? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you said, classic 3. Just.
Yep. Exactly.
And she felt the burning, you said.
Yeah. Because, if not, then she would have not even bothered to ask me to look at her back.
Right.
She goes, "There's
So I don't know.
something on my back." And so that freaked her out. And I think part of it is why she's having fuzzy things about where it happened, is that she doesn't want to talk about it that much. It's like a freaky experience. So her memory is shrinking because it's like disturbing in a way. Do you know what I mean? So she's kind of struggling with, I think I don't know how many months ago I asked her about it, and she's like,
she just doesn't, she like gets the
really talk
heebie-jeebies
about
from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't blame her. I mean, that it is freaky. Simple as that. I mean, you're just going about your business, and something from the phantom realm decides to flip and attack you.
She doesn't necessarily like going to the school by herself. She just gets weird, uneasy feelings a lot of the time, especially around her room area where we are in that back hallway. Is just it's awkward for her. So she's had some interesting moments. So,
and that's where we got what we believe, and have tried to debunk. We've tried to figure out what the heck those Sounds like heavy desks being moved on the floor above us. We got that on audio and video.
Absolutely do.
And my silly, vulgar reaction, dropping F-bombs like a little mother. I'm just, it's kind of embarrassing. Your daughter has seen things in the hallway at the school. I mean, this isn't just an isolated incident for your wife. She's experienced multiple things.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
as I said, there have been personal visual experiences of seeing things. Now, and you mentioned that Jen feels uneasy being there. I know your daughter, when she joined Mike and I on the podcast, she shared some of her experiences. She felt uneasy. She didn't like necessarily seeing that thing at the end of the hallway.
And that was an odd description of something to see.
Yeah, yes.
Almost just weird, elemental, inhuman kind of
that's creepy.
feel to me. I don't know, just this little thing.
I mean, what?
Yeah, and she
what is
like
going on?
school,
Do you personally get any vibes from the school, Joe? From what you've learned from Jen, do you guys think there might be something nefarious going on? Is there something, here's a word, malevolent, that's residing in that school for whatever reason?
I think this is unfortunate for me. This is just my own unfortunate thing, is that I wish I had a little more openness, like Mike. Like, I wish my body was more welcoming to feeling and sensitivity to what's around me, because I think I'm tense. And since I'm so tense that I'm not hearing or not seeing what I really would like to, and I'm not trying to say that I'm making it up. I'm saying that I would like to be open, where those things will be more more freeing to come to me and hear it and see.
You can learn
Jennifer,
these things.
And Jennifer is more open, like her body, and she's more free-spirited, more sensitive, which I think
much more relaxed
as well. Much more relaxed, absolutely. I think I am too tense in just normal life sometimes to be able to hear what other people may hear or see. So it's kind of like it's unfortunate. And I think I don't necessarily get that uneasy feeling. But again, that could be just because of my personality.
Right.
But now the video. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike. You were saying.
The video, of the last visit that you two made to the school, I mean, you were definitely having some sensitive feeling. Something was definitely affecting you physically in the way you were feeling. And I mean, so
I've never had that happen before. It was just an instant reaction. I was like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
and as you described it,
thing or something.
As you described it, Joe, you said, "I'm feeling the woonkies."
Yes, I was feeling the woonkies, man. Like, I started getting like the hairs on my arms and standing up.
But you saw something though, and that's what started all of that. What you swear that you saw something outside in the hallway, moving from like right to left past the doorway.
Right. Yep.
And that's
exactly.
when that's when I started filming, and it was.
And I don't necessarily think it was crap because it was lit in the hallway, so I wasn't dealing with, darkness per se, and then your eyes playing tricks on you or whatever. So it was lit enough where, my eyes are not going to make up something that goes, I don't know if that makes any sense. So
it does. Totally. Yeah.
And to react the way I did, it was instant, and it wasn't. It just gave me the woonkies, as you say.
No, Joe. Adding to that clip when I was filming, and I'm not suggesting that this is anything paranormal, but it might be. But it was coincidental that when I was filming, when I was looking through the viewfinder and I'm walking around, and I walked into two separate desks. It was so dark in there, I couldn't see anything. I don't know if you remember, at that point, I stopped and I said, "What was that?" I was like, "Did you hear that?" Because I thought I heard that? Right, yes. Did you hear that? I thought I heard like a very high pitched, like a ping maybe, or I won't try and imitate that one because I don't know how else to do it. And it's just coincidental that when I was watching the video back, well, I'm not going to call it a classic orb, but an orb flew right in front of the viewfinder at the exact same time that I stopped and said, "What was that?" Because I heard something, and then on the camera I captured something. Now, was that just dust flying around and it just happens to line up with perfect timing? Who knows? But it's interesting.
I think it's all connected. There was definitely some communication trying to be going on there or something. Did you have any battery issues or anything? Or
nope, absolutely not.
Good.
And I even went and the only other thing that was running at the time on batteries was my digital, and I went and I filmed the digital to see if it was still going. And yeah, it was sitting there, it was running perfectly fine. So there wasn't any battery alarms going off from anything else because nothing was on at that point.
Yeah.
Now, when we were in the girls' bathroom and we were in there doing...
And we won't say what we were doing.
Smoking in the girls' room.
We were paying cribbage. We were putting up wallpaper. Okay.
All I know is that I was standing outside outside the door, and I heard a bottle spinning. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's right. Truth or dare, you bitches. Okay. So we were in the girls' bathroom and doing our research.
Yes, we were reading books in the dark. We're doing our research.
We were reading Little Women. So, and I was filming you. Was that you in the toilet area?
Yes,
anyway,
in the dark. In the dark.
You go to the bathroom in the women's bathroom because that's just sick.
Hey, we're professionals, Mike. Come on.
I know.
Yes. So it's in those lights I was telling you, I kept see flashing, and then you thought they were interesting.
Oh yeah.
You I'm not going to say the word, the D word.
No, I did. No, but yeah, it absolutely was. It's a legit explanation. It was iPhone cameras. They automatically set off like infrared when they're trying to get the focus onto your face, even if it's in the dark. And so your camera, your phone, whatever you were using, was picking up what my iPhone was sending out, like the infrared thing. So all those white flashes are just simply coming from my iPhone.
Oh, Aaron had the phone. I didn't have my phone out or anything.
You were using some sort of camcorder. I don't remember what it was. But you were picking up that was just being emitted from my phone. I mean, it was interesting. When I first saw it, I was like, "What the hell is this?" But figured it out.
To no avail.
Yes. When we were in the science room again, or below the science room, Jen's room, we did pick up another heavy thump on the upstairs above us. Again, was it the furnace kicking on? I don't think it was, because it sounds like it was there was like a weight to it. I keep using that description over and over and over, where it doesn't sound like just a furnace like going
like a heaviness and something coming down or something.
Yeah, right. It was like it was a thump.
Yeah.
It was a definite thump, directly above us. So we got that on audio.
After you were saying, please make a noise or something like that, and kind of responded to.
Well, what I was saying was, I was just throwing out random questions, and I was like, "Are you afraid?" I said, "There's no need to be afraid, of us." And after that is when we picked up the thump.
Mm.
Yep. So,
a form of communication, maybe.
Maybe.
Or a raccoon in the ductwork.
Maybe a raccoon.
That's one heavy ass raccoon.
Oh God, yeah, no kidding.
Overweight raccoon.
So,
but go ahead, Mike. Go.
I was just going to ask, so I know I've asked you before, Patrick. If you know how old this school is, or any history of it, anything's happened there, or is there any records that could be looked at that, something might be found to verify any of this stuff, any little piece of it. I mean, there's obviously something going on there. There's, to me, how easy I am to say, "Oh, that's paranormal." I'm not saying it's paranormal, but
right.
But anyway,
every time Mike flips on his television, that's paranormal.
Yeah. Did you see that commercial? It's paranormal. But Anyway,
Yeah.
Gosh, excuse me. Goodness gracious. What I gathered that it was built in 1960 something.
yeah, that's the
And,
impression I got from what Patrick was saying.
Yeah.
with mine money. We have mines around where we are, so the mine
Right. Very
built
much
this.
so.
At the time, it was a state-of-the-art school with everything from the auditorium to the tennis court to the football field to, I mean, it was state-of-the-art with all the money that was pumped into that. And so, yeah, it's not old. And at one point in time, I don't know who told me this, but it was somebody building it fell and got hurt or died or something like that. But that, I've never confirmed that, and that can just be
That's something that you would need. Yeah, I don't know how easy it would be for you, but you'd think that if you just, or anybody, I'm not directing this to you, obviously. Crepes, Mike and I could look into it as well. There has to be some sort of record of any possible fatality that may have occurred at the school. There has to be somewhere.
Right. So I'll ask Mike this question. A place doesn't have to be haunted because of tragedy, does it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's a pretty darn good factor. I mean, in certain cases, but no, it can be for any reason of earthbound or not wanting to go or being happy where they're at. It doesn't have to be a tragedy.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely not.
Because we most of us in the room associate something with a death, right?
Right.
Or something horrific happened here. So definitely now there's chances for this. So even if there was nothing in the school, there's always a possibility of something is what I'm asking, right?
Well, right. And it could be the land before there is ever anything around there. It could go back who knows how far. Something that's connected to the land or
we've talked about that quite a few times, Mike, where it's like, is it the house that's haunted? Is it the building that's haunted? Or is it the land that it is built upon? Is there something stored there, energy speaking, I'm talking about, a condensed, I don't want to say haunted right now, but there is a definite possibility that it's just the land. Maybe there's something there, Joe, that the school was built upon for whatever reason, high energy. I'm not certain of the layout of the land of Babbitt. I mean, a lot of people believe that certain rocks, certain sediments are possibly, more apt to storing paranormal energy. I don't know. I don't know the exact
underground running water.
Yeah, any number of factors. Absolutely.
Was there? Has there been some sort of a portal there since the beginning of time?
Yeah, I love that.
Has over the decades of it being there, that's still plenty of time to where it was some kind of an energy brought in somehow by some student or teacher going way back that,
right.
Who knows in history who, what, where, how.
I have an answer.
Okay, tell me.
It's Joe's oldest son. Back in the day, he was practicing his damn devil worshipping down in the lower levels of Babbitt. He and his crazy, loony friends, Joe, I'm blaming your son. He and his devil worship, his heavy metal music influenced him to the part. Sorry. No, I don't have an answer.
I know.
He's a Kiss fan. He's a demon devil worshiper.
Yeah, 100%.
Kids in Satan Society. Oh, my word. Anyway.
You all said different things.
I said Knights in Satan service.
And that's why I always thought it was. And Mike said Knights in Satan Society. I was like,
Kids
Satan Society.
Satan Society.
I like that one, too.
I think way back in the 70s, I think that's what I heard.
Well,
but
what
I could have morphed it over the years. I don't know.
You know what Gene Simmons says it stands for?
What?
Money.
Keep it simple, stupid.
That's right. I've heard that.
So there you go. There you
See, now,
The brilliant Gene Simmons.
go. What were you saying, Mike?
we were getting to a point, and boy, it just got thrown out of the water, and I hope I didn't do it this time again.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, I did because I brought up Joe's Satan worshiping son as the reason
Oh,
for
Yes.
But you know what I was saying, you
No.
know, it's anything.
You can
You know,
just
Hey,
know
how
what
about
I'm not.
this? A quick personal note for everybody. I'll be a grandfather sometime tomorrow, probably.
Really?
Another one. Yeah.
Holy Toledo! Wow,
Mary's gonna be induced and give birth tomorrow. So
and
got a little
Patrick's going to be
granddaughter
a
tomorrow.
nuncle.
I'm going to be another
A
nuncle.
nuncle.
So that's exciting. So we're like, woo,
That's pretty
wait
cool.
Can't wait to meet her.
Mm.
Yeah. Thought I'd throw that out in the podcast.
Well,
Congratulations, Aaron and
congratulations.
Mary.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
That's awesome. Extremely excited for you and
Appreciate it.
family.
Yeah, we are super excited. So
And
go, Aaron and
Patrick
Mary.
as well, I guess. I'm happy for him, too.
Patrick doesn't care.
Oh, I don't know.
Look at that
Buttons. He's just throwing random crap out there now.
Button.
Mm,
What
buttons.
happened, Patrick? What?
That's enough of that.
So some of the stuff that I had written down, my professional notes are very limited today, but I did find another recipe card. So
Another recipe card. Did I see homemade fudge written on the top of that?
I think you did. Yeah, no, we joked about last time. I'm actually ruining all of the original hand-me-down recipes from my great-great-great-grandmother. To hell with them! I'm using these for
Oh,
podcast
no!
notes.
I have some really nice old recipe boxes that go way back in my grandmother's, my English grandmother from England, and some really wonderful British food.
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead. Big deal.
So one of the things that I've written down, we've already kind of covered it, but I did simply put forth this question: why a school? Let's think about that for a second. What
Yes.
reasons pop into your brain? I'm asking both of you guys.
Yes.
Feel free to take the reins here. Why a school? Why do you think a school would be prone to potential paranormal happenings? Because you can find stuff like this all over the place. There are classic stories of haunted schools, some terrifying video clips out there, lockers mysteriously opening and slamming on their own, desks being flown all over rooms, unexplained as to why. I mean, any number of alleged paranormal activity. What's going on at a school? Why would a school be apt to paranormal activity?
Energy.
Yeah, but what type of energy? But what type and why?
Everybody.
Exactly. You think of, okay, so what are the grades in the Babbitt school? It's like a
it's a K through 12.
Right, that's what I thought. So you have got every age over these decades, every day of the week, during the school year going there, how many boys and girls going through puberty and changing and this energy and this hormones and the things that poltergeists are made out of.
That's a great point.
Just think of how much condensed energy over all those years of all these students.
And you're right, to add on to Mike's is like,
yes,
and the stuff they bring from their house.
Yes.
If you have bad energy from
absolutely
your home, you bring it to the school.
That's what I was
like.
I guess that's how I was meaning when I said, maybe it's brought in. That's a perfect example of it. How many haunted houses are in any town that students are coming to school? I mean, there are haunted houses in every town that you have no idea how many are in a town or a city. Maybe there's kids or whoever that lives in these houses that, even if it's just a couple of them, that's energy that could be brought in every year.
Are we suggesting that one potential possibility is that it's a created paranormal event,
right?
Simply
like
brought. I mean,
before you.
Yeah, we dove into those possibilities before as well. How it is a legit option and a legit potential reason is that we can, as humans, especially when gathered in in mass communities, we can conjure up, for lack of a better term, paranormal activity on our own. Like you said, Joe. I mean, sadly, how many kids come from abusive homes and they're bringing some very sad, negative energy, not through any fault of their own, they're bringing it to the school. Any number of factors can come into that over the decades, over the years. Are we creating something that wasn't there? That's a possibility. Are we bringing that energy into a land that is apt or prone to paranormal activity, paranormal energy, and therefore the two kind of combined, and those two factors create this scratching phenomena on the back of your wife, or any number of things. I mean, what I'm getting at is we're making this as humans. Are we creating this? What do you think about that possibility?
Just as a possibility.
That's what I'm saying, as a possibility. I'm not saying that's what it is.
To me, yeah, it can happen.
You don't seem to like that idea, though.
I don't know. It just kind of brushes me wrong. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's fine. I mean,
know.
so you
but
think,
I can't understand. I can't explain why, but it just doesn't sound right.
so you're thinking that there's something there already, and that intermingling with the negative energy brought in, or whatever energy brought in from the teachers, the students throughout the decades, that just makes it a hotspot for paranormal activity itself, to make itself known. The energy is there, the quote unquote ghosts are there, but they can't make themselves known until they build off of that negative energy that's been being brought into the school.
Right. I like
That's
that.
what I was going to say, that energy, you feed off it, and then it's like, okay, I got enough. Now I can say hello. Hello.
Okay.
I had another thought. Now this might be stretching it, but okay. So now you said earlier that the school was built on money from the mines that are in the area.
Yes.
Okay, so is Babbitt itself like a very much a mining town where
Yes,
okay, awesome. I mean, I'm only going by what I saw when I went to, was it Hibbing one time, which I loved it all the way through there, and it's like the history of mining. It goes way, way, way back in that area, correct? So,
100%.
Now, when I was in Hibbing and I was seeing where, I was standing there in this shack, gift shop, whatever, looking out over this huge pit mining that they're doing, and just amazing. And right next to that are the remnants of a town, basically a huge neighborhood or whatever, that goes back to early days of mining, where the miners and their families actually lived, and they had buildings there for, I don't know, store, commissary, whatever type things.
Yes, absolutely.
That history that goes way back, and if it's like a big mining town and the school is connected to that, maybe some of that energy of the mining going way back. Think of the men that died and still probably do die doing this work.
Correct.
That's bringing in a lot of energy, and if that's like a big mining town, that school is connected to it in that, even that way, that could be having some kind of an effect on it. And I'm not saying negative.
Absolutely,
it's just that's adding so much more energy to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great point. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been around. Golly. Yeah, we used to have our town used to sit on a hill. And our town is not, where we are now, the town was on a hill, and then they moved all the houses from the hill down to where they are now. So, yeah, at one point it was just in its own separate energy. So then you're moving that down to here.
Right.
And you're building the school. So, yeah, just to pile on what you said, but yeah, absolutely that energy floats around here. It's,
it's an area of a lot of different energy. And all I know that is, if I could get there, I swear I would stay on that second floor all night long, laying on top of my sleeping bag in case I had to run out real quick.
Absolutely.
But I would do that.
We know. I know.
And
we need
to
make plans.
I put my hearing aids in and turn them up to 5.
There you go. Anyway, absolutely. Right.
But the stuff that you guys have caught, and there's so much more that can be done there and should be done there. History research. There's so much there that can be dug up. I really think so.
We're looking at you, Joe. You're the one who has access to all that
That's your
stuff.
pie hole.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
And is this a 2-story building? Is it just got the second floor, or it's not used
Yeah,
anymore?
it was one area that has second floor, and that was the
Okay.
high school area, and they
Okay.
built a second floor. And then,
But
the
there's
rest
also
of the
that
building
lower-
was one level.
Well, there's the lower level too, going down to like where the archery class was, and
Well, it was archery class down there at one point, which is
but there's a total of 3 levels in the
well,
building.
we call it the basement.
Yes, the
whatever.
basement, the main floor, and then the upstairs.
Yes.
And that's kind of creepy down, in the lower levels where like the janitors and stuff, they hang out down there, Mike, and it's who knows what they do.
Well,
It's like
they
weird
usually
because they have their little chairs set up in a circle, but we're in the dark. But then you see the little half circle
Yeah.
chairs, and you're like, "This is weird. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
it's like-
Are they in the dark?"
well, the janitors they usually hang themselves in the boiler room.
Oh no,
Right.
yeah, that's the Park Rapids courthouse there, my
Yeah,
friend. Oh my
right.
goodness gracious.
But I tell you, and also on that second floor, the Estes method has to be done
Oh, I know that's Mike's go-to.
extensively.
Oh, we have so many things that we have to do, Mike, and God dang it, so we just got to get it done. We have to get it done. Well, I know, I'm speaking for Joe, but I know it's essentially an open invite. Whenever we can find the time to do it,
Yep.
I'm sure we can do it.
Yeah.
Yep, we're pretty
So-
free around here.
I think we tackled the idea of why schools may be hotspots for hauntings, for sure. Not suggesting that all schools are haunted. Of course,
No.
we're not
No.
suggesting that.
No.
So to me, it has to be a combination of many factors. And I think the Babbitt School meets a lot of those factors, potentially meets a lot of those factors.
Mhm.
I don't know, guys. Any final thoughts on the goings-ons at the Babbitt School? Are we leaving out some personal experiences, Joe, that I just am not recalling right now? I don't believe I am. But there's something that's going on there. I mean, we're driven to go there, and we have gone there multiple times to try and capture something. And I will say that when I'm there, sometimes I do get kind of the heebie-jeebie feeling. I do. Is that just me doing it to myself? Who knows?
Or is it an energy that you're feeling?
Is it an energy that I'm feeling? Right.
That's like, like for me, for grade school and middle school, things like that, I went to extremely old schools, like early 1900s built. And
Nice.
they're amazing to be in. And I'm sure you've been in them, seen them, whatever, but there's that smell, there's that feeling, there's
I
that
love that.
something in the air kind of thing. That's all part of that energy, I think, that's been in there for so long and been building. And that's like that palpable feeling when you walk out the door, hitting your senses, like, the smell and the whatever,
The history, everything.
yeah.
No.
And you just know there's a lot of history there.
Mike, the scientific term is the Woonkies.
Yes.
You have to remember that.
The Woonkies.
Woonkies. Look it up. The Woonkies.
IES. No, I just wrote it down because I'm gonna pin it up on my
Really
podcast
Woonkies.
area.
Nope. I got you, man. Well, it's time to wrap this one up. We have to get going here. Thanks, Joe, for joining us. This has been
Absolutely.
a blast. Have a happy Super Bowl Sunday. I don't give a crap about either team
Go
today,
Vikings. Oh,
but yeah, go Vikings.
I
Mike,
don't give a shit.
I know you don't, and I'm
don't give a
envious. I'm envious. So I will
Yeah, I'm kidding.
I will post this shortly, and I'll send you guys both the links.
Yes.
And Joe, again, go and listen to the episode on YouTube when it's
Yes.
up, so you can listen to that clip, so you can hear that audio.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I hope our
Yeah.
listeners, multitudes of loyal paranormal fans out there.
Yes. Wonderful to see you again, Mr. Show.
yes, you as well, Michael. Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for tuning in. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Again, if you made it this far and you love the content, and you want to support the podcast, no better way than to give our Patreon page a shot. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month. No obligations. Lots of good, cool stuff over there. We're going to be recording episode 86 sooner rather than later. 86 exclusive episodes. Mike, until next time, my friend, what do our paranormal pals need to do?
Well, there's a couple things this time. First of all, have a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday,
Oh,
and
Lord.
peace out. Although they will be